All right, so get this. We're diving deep today into something pretty wild.
Oh, yeah.
30 years of
Wow.
silence between Ice Cube and
Uh,
K-DEE. I mean, Ice Cube, obviously rapper, actor, legend.
right.
But K-DEE was right there with him
Yeah.
in the beginning,
At the start.
watching him blow up firsthand.
What's so interesting to me is that K-DEE says there wasn't even a fight.
Really?
No big falling out or anything like that. Just
Yeah.
silence.
Like they just drifted.
Yeah. Faded away.
So that's what we're going to try to figure out.
Right.
Is that just how friendships work sometimes?
Mm.
Or is there something more to it?
Yeah.
I mean, friendships ending in music isn't exactly shocking.
Right.
And cutthroat out there.
Oh, yeah. Competitive.
And sometimes those old bonds just can't handle the pressure.
It's almost like you think success would bring people closer,
You'd think?
but it often tears them apart.
Yeah.
Look at the Beatles, Simon and Garfunkel, even Oasis recently.
Oh, man. Oasis.
The bigger they get,
Yeah.
the more fragile it all becomes.
Okay, so rewind back to the start.
Okay.
Ice Cube and K-DEE, both coming up in West Coast hip-hop.
Right.
They weren't just friends. They were tight.
Oh, yeah. K-DEE was there when those lyrics were lighting the world on fire. Yeah. When NWA was exploding.
Yeah.
He saw it all happen.
Must have been something else to see your friend become like a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to K-DEE's credit, he doesn't seem bitter at all about Ice Cube's success.
Nope.
Actually talks about those days really fondly.
Yeah.
But that's what makes the silence even weirder. Get this, the last time anyone saw them together
Okay.
was at Crazy Tune's funeral.
Whoa.
Think about that for a second.
Yeah.
Funerals are heavy.
You're facing death.
It makes you want to,
Reevaluate.
yeah, think about your relationships.
It's like a push to make things right.
You'd think that would have been the time to reconnect.
You would.
But K-DEE says they barely talked.
Really?
Just a quick hello.
Huh.
No warmth, like their old connection was just gone.
So why, if there were no hard feelings,
Right.
why didn't that spark something more?
It's like the weight of whatever happened was just too much.
Yeah, too much to handle.
So let's look at some theories.
Okay.
The obvious one is fame changes you.
Right.
Ice Cube's whole life transformed.
It did.
Maybe he just outgrew his old life.
Including K-DEE.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Fame can be isolating.
Yeah.
Maybe he had to distance himself from his past.
And protect his new life.
Or maybe it wasn't even a choice.
Right.
Maybe it was just how their lives were going.
Ice Cube building an empire?
And K-DEE staying true to their roots.
Yeah. And that happens even in the best friendships.
Think about it.
You move for a job, you start a family, things change.
Priorities shift.
Sometimes it just gets harder to stay close.
Even if you still care.
Absolutely.
It's like those high school friends or college buddies.
Yeah.
You're inseparable. Then life happens.
New jobs, new cities.
Yeah, new relationships.
And slowly, you just drift apart.
No big blow up.
Right.
You just drift.
And that drift can be huge when one person gets famous, like Ice Cube.
Yeah, their world becomes so different.
Their circle is tiny and controlled.
It's not always malicious,
No.
but it creates distance.
For sure.
And then you add social media into the mix.
Oh, yeah.
It's like throwing gasoline on a fire.
Totally.
K-DEE mentioned this on a podcast, and the internet blew up.
Everyone's an expert.
All these theories about Ice Cube going silent.
It's wild how social media twists things.
We love a good mystery.
Especially with celebrities.
And suddenly it's a conspiracy.
People analyzing lyrics, looking for clues.
It's like we forget they're human.
Right?
They have their own lives, their own stuff going on.
They deserve privacy.
Just because they're famous doesn't mean we know everything.
Exactly.
I think this whole thing taps into something we all relate to, though.
How so?
Friendships changing. We've all been there.
It's part of life.
But it still makes you wonder.
What could have been?
Yeah.
What stands out to you about this whole thing?
That's a good question.
Is it the mystery, the fame, the friendships?
You know what gets me?
What's that?
How much it's resonated with people.
It struck a chord.
It makes you think about your own relationships.
Yeah, your own friendships.
How they've changed.
How they've ended.
It makes you question how we define the end of a friendship.
Right.
Does it always have to be a fight?
A dramatic ending?
Or can it just fade?
Slowly drift away.
It's like looking at old photos.
Yeah.
People who were so important to you.
But now they're gone.
It brings back all these feelings.
Nostalgia, happiness, sadness.
But you also know that chapter is closed.
And
And that's where the silence gets interesting.
how so?
We see silence as a bad thing.
Like something's missing.
But maybe in this case it means something else.
What do you mean?
Maybe it's a form of respect.
Respect
Acknowledging they've gone their separate ways.
without any bad blood.
They've both moved on.
To different chapters.
So instead of seeing it as a failure,
Okay.
we see it as acceptance.
Acceptance of what?
That their friendship ran its course.
Hmm.
They don't need to force a connection anymore.
They're letting go.
It's like saying, we had our time, it was great.
And now we're on different paths.
That's okay.
Not all friendships are forever.
It's a powerful message.
Especially today.
We're told true friends never leave each other.
Ride or die.
But sometimes letting go is the best thing.
And for both people.
Like life itself.
How so?
Things change, people change.
It's inevitable.
You have to accept it and move forward.
It's a microcosm of the human experience.
Full of complexities, contradictions.
In the reality that nothing lasts forever.
But that doesn't mean those experiences weren't important.
Absolutely.
So what does it all mean for Ice Cube and K-DEE?
Who knows?
Maybe we'll never know the full story.
Maybe we don't need to. Maybe that's the point. Sometimes the best stories are the ones we don't know the ending to.
Makes you think.
It does.
Makes you wonder.
It wouldn't be a deep dive, though,
Right.
if we didn't leave you with something to chew on.
Hit me with it.
We've talked about friendship, about fame.
Yeah, the silence.
But here's a curveball.
Okay, I'm listening.
What if the silence isn't the end?
Hmm.
What if it's a transformation?
Wait.
Like their friendship is still there,
Okay.
just in a different form.
You mean even though they're not close anymore?
Yeah,
Their friendship still affects them.
exactly. Those early years, the things they did together,
Doesn't just vanish.
it becomes part of who they are.
Changes their art, their views, their choices.
Right.
So the silence is proof their connection was real.
Powerful even.
They don't need to hang out.
Or relive the past.
It's about knowing their friendship made them who they are.
It shaped their journeys.
Brings us back to you, listener.
Our deep divers.
We've looked at one friendship.
But what we found applies to everyone.
Totally. We all know how friendships change.
The ups and downs.
New friends, old friends.
Sometimes you gotta let go.
It's bittersweet.
So think about your own friendships.
The ones that lasted.
The ones that changed.
The ones that went quiet.
Don't see the silence as a bad thing.
Yeah.
See it as a transformation.
A reminder of what those friends meant to you.
Even if it's over.
Because sometimes the best lessons come from letting go.
From growth, from change.
From the quiet moments.
That's the beauty of it all.
So that wraps up our deep dive into Ice Cube and K-DEE.
30 years of silence.
Thanks for listening.
Until next time.
Keep diving.